Hello viewers, and welcome to my new video. This time I've decided to talk to you about motivation. So you may be surprised why I've chosen this subject, but you know what? I've recently been working on my new album, as I have already mentioned in some of my other videos. And I've been going through various stages of the recording. I was firstly working on setting up the drums on the Easy Drummer, and then I recorded all the bass tracks for my tunes, and then I proceeded into recording the guitars, and then currently I'm working through the vocals. But it's been a long process, and I actually started writing these songs, or majority of these songs, last year, and it's taken me probably 12 months or over 12 months from the actual concept, when I started sort of writing these songs and putting them together, to the actual realization of them, in the studio, and I actually started, properly recording them. Previously I did some demos, but that's all they were, really, just demos, and not for wide release. So it's really, and this is the first time that I've actually been working sort of on my own, without a band. So it's just me working on everything. From the initial songwriting, the song concepts, through to the recording of everything and the production. So no one's actually giving me any advice whatsoever, on the production side. All the arrangements and everything else. So this album, is truly kind of the work of one person, I suppose, at this moment in time, at least. I may decide to invite some other people, perhaps, to some collaborations. This might happen, perhaps on one of the songs, but at this moment in time, it's all just been me. So I've decided, whilst I'm still working on the album, to talk to you about how to stay motivated when you work on your own. Because I thought that this subject actually doesn't just apply to music. It could apply to anything. Writing a book, or working on anything, really. So I hope that many of you will find value in this video and what I've got to say. And these are just my techniques in terms of what I've been using and what I resource to to fuel my motivation, so I stay on track when I work on a project like this. And there's been some tough moments, and I'm not going to lie, that sometimes things can go wrong. Sometimes you may spend, say, hours on doing something, and then in the end it turns out that actually it doesn't sound like you wanted it to, or you didn't set up the equipment correctly, or you've made some other mistakes accidentally along the way, and it may contribute to the overall frustration, and sometimes you may be feeling like, oh my god, I just want to give up, and that's it. I just want to sort of throw the project in the bin. And I've myself have had those moments. So I've sort of been thinking about what are the things or techniques and methods that I've been using throughout, and I've listed 10 items. So today I would like to share them with you. Item number 1 on my list is determination. So this is what I believe strongly, that you need to have that determination, to stay on track. I think you need to have that almost in your personality, but I think you can learn that as well, to actually be that determined that you are going to reach that goal, and no matter what happens, you need to have that mindset that you will definitely get there. No matter how many obstacles may lie in front of you along the way, you will get there. Item number 2 on my list, I've entitled "Believe in your project." And ultimately what this means is you've got to have the belief that whatever you're doing is worth it. So it has to be worth your while. If you begin doing something that you think actually it doesn't make any sense, I don't understand why I'm even doing this, you are not going to get there. You're not going to get to your destination. So you have to have that belief in what you're doing. Item number 3, visualize the end goal. So this is something I do quite a lot. So any project I sort of approach, I have a vision of what it's going to look like before I even begin working on anything whatsoever. So in respect of this album, I've already had a vision from the beginning. I knew what the concept of the album was going to be. Some of that obviously developed throughout. So some of the ideas have been added along the way, but the overall concept was there from the start, and the overall vision, and I know what I'm sort of going towards, and in the eyes of my imagination, I can already see the end result. So I already know that it's worth it because I already, it's like I've already seen it. I know where I'm going, so I know when I get there, it will be something that I am happy with. Item number 4, take small steps and celebrate small accomplishments. This is really important, okay? Because if you're working on a really big project like this one, like recording this album, things will take time. And I've got the most recent example about recording of the vocals, for example, where it's been taking longer than anticipated, and I've had to sort of, because actually I've experienced something that I've never experienced before, because when I worked with bands in the past, we used to have rehearsals, regular band practices, and I would be able to practice those vocals, and that kind of led me to recording them, and they were all sort of well rehearsed. Whereas this time I just wrote the songs, I wrote the lyrics, I had the overall concept of the vocal melodies in my head, and then I kind of attempted to deliver those vocals straight away onto the recording, and then I discovered, I need to practice a little bit before I actually do that. So I had to take a step back. But in terms of taking the small steps and celebrating those small accomplishments, it's about, say that you set yourself smaller goals for each day, or for a couple of days, whenever you have the time to work on your project, and the moment that you've done them, you actually celebrate them. So for example, I may have set myself up to record 5 songs today, but I've only managed to do 2. And that's all right, I think that's a fantastic accomplishment in the end of the day. So don't go too harsh on yourself, but also take those small steps and make sure that you celebrate those achievements. So actually, look, I've recorded a bass for the first song. That's an achievement. That's one step further towards my overall goal. Item number 5, or advice number 5, you can actually write a project plan. Okay, so for those of you who are really well organized and like being organized, this tip I think will resonate with you. I actually did this when I was in Sonnet 13 in my most recent band. When we initially put the band together, I actually did write a project plan for what we wanted to achieve in year 1 and then year 2 of the band. And actually that was very, very helpful, because I put proper timescales on it and deadlines. So for example, we had timescales around when we're going to record our first album, when we're going to mix the album, master the album, the deadline for releasing the album. We had ideas around music videos and when they were going to be published. And that really helped, because that helps to keep you on track on whatever you're working on. So it can actually, one it helps with those celebrating those smaller accomplishments, like I said before, because you can tick them off your list, and it's like it makes you feel like you are actually getting there. So it adds to your overall motivation. Item number 6 is about breaking it down into manageable chunks. So what I mean by that, I previously said about taking small steps, and in a way it's the same thing, maybe saying it slightly differently. But what I actually mean here is that sometimes you may accidentally overburden yourself, because you may just want to do too much in the time that you've actually got. So let me give you an example. So if I say if I'm at work all day and then I come to shoot one of these videos, or I'm working on my album and I'm spending, say, majority of my evening trying to record something, well, that actually can take significant amount of my time, when maybe I just need some time for some relaxation as well, and some me time, also to wind down, re-energize, recharge my batteries. So what's really important when you're working on a project like this, which is sort of long term, is to just maybe devise yourself specific chunks of time in which you will be working in. So this is actually something that I've recently started doing. So for example, if I start recording my vocals, and for example, I don't know, it might be 7 o'clock in the evening when I start, I might say to myself, all right, no matter what happens, when I see 9 o'clock on my computer clock, I'm just going to stop. So no matter what amount of work I've done up to that point, whether I'm happy with what I've done, not happy, it doesn't matter. I'm only going to spend 2 hours today working on this, and I've noticed that really can help with the overall process, and that you don't burn yourself out at the same time, because it's you can sometimes end up working till very late, because you're not happy, you're doing another take, then another take, then another take, for example on the guitar, and you're not happy, so you just carry on and carry on and carry on. But sometimes it's really good to just really break it down in terms of the time that you spend on something, and actually say to yourself, no, today I'm only going to work on this for 2 hours or 1 hour or half an hour, even depending on what time you may have, depending on your responsibilities, your accountabilities outside of whatever you might be working on. So yeah, just use your judgment. What's really important as well is when you break it down in terms of your manageable chunks of time, is that you do them often, right? So say that you decide to do less, spend less time on it, but then make sure that, say, you do an hour each day or every other day, and you stick to it, okay? Because that will keep you on track as well, so because it's too easy to say to yourself, today I'm tired, or today this is happening, or whatever, I'm not going to do anything today, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it the day after, and then things can really slip and delay. So to keep you on track, make sure that you stick to your agreed timescales. Tip number 7, time yourself. So time your activities, become familiar with how long things take you, and I think that will help you with estimating your timescales as well, and how long something is going to take, is likely to take, and the more you know it, the better, because it will just be so much easier to estimate, and not to get frustrated by not getting to a certain place by a certain time that you thought you would get there. And to be honest with you, what I would say, that with every project that you work on, the likelihood is that it will take longer than anticipated. Tip number 8, stay positive. This is very important, okay? Nobody has achieved anything through negativity. So the moment that you become negative about anything, it's a very sort of demotivating and in a way destructive energy. So you definitely want to stay positive no matter what, and it kind of, I suppose, goes together with that determination that I talked about at the beginning. But yes, always try to have that positive mental attitude towards everything that you do and towards your projects. It will definitely take you further, and you will get there quicker because your positivity will carry you through, and it will carry you through any problems that might occur along the way. Tip number 9: when you get frustrated, take a break. And again, this is extremely important. How many times have I done that? That I got frustrated, for example, again, this is a great example, recording an album. You do a take after take, and sometimes I just will accidentally, play a wrong note, just one note through the entire take. And that can really frustrate me on occasions because I'll be like, oh my God, I've almost got to the end of the song and I've played something wrong and I just need to go back all the way back to repeat it. This is also due to the fact that I really like to do it that way, to actually be able to record the full take from start to finish, rather than trying to record just say a single riff and then just sort of copy it and paste them across, because I know that some bands record in this fashion, and it depends. Sometimes when it gets to that point where you really cannot nail something, so many times, maybe on occasions in the editing stages you may want to resort to some of that. But overall, I would say that my preferred option is to record a song or a take of a specific track from start to finish. So when you get frustrated, just take a break, because the worst thing is the more things don't go your way, the more frustrated you can become, and it's then like a vicious circle, really. So what you want to do, if you are working on something's not working your way, not going your way, you get really frustrated, you try again and try again and try again, still not working. Well, maybe that's the sign to call it a day on that particular day and return to it the following day. And that's what I would advise you to do, because you will feel completely different the next day when you wake up, when you sit down, when you start doing your project or working on your project again. You will feel a completely different, fresh energy, and actually something that seemed like a huge mountain might just seem insignificant, or you might have been working on something for 5 hours by the time that something started going wrong, and maybe you are fatigued by then, tired, and it seems like you're gonna spend another 5 hours, for example, to finish it off. But when you start the following day, actually it might turn out that you only need half an hour to actually finish something off. So yeah, when it gets to that point, stop and get back to it the next day. Last but not least, be kind to yourself. In the end of the day, it's only you. If you are working on a project just by yourself, you need to give yourself that kindness. You can't go too harsh on yourself. It's good to be sort of demanding towards yourself and thinking that I want to be a perfectionist. I want my project, the end result, to be as perfect as it can be. But sometimes you've got to take it easy on yourself and actually realize that you will get there sooner or later. So as long as you keep going and you stick at it and you take those breaks and you time yourself and you organize yourself really well, that keeps you on track. You visualize your end goal, you know where you're going, you have that belief and that determination in whatever it is that you want to achieve. I can guarantee that you will get there and that motivation will stay with you. So I hope that some of these tips and some of these techniques that I've been resorting to, you will also find helpful. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel, because the more subscribers I get, the more my channel is being promoted out there on YouTube, and the more people will get to see my videos. So it really helps me with growing and developing my channel. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.